Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We are live here on the MAGGcast. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you very much for joining me. I hope you like the new intro, even though it's not really an intro. It's just one of those starting soon screens or whatever the hell you want to call it. I see we already have 18 beautiful people in the chat today. We got some things to talk about tonight. How's everybody doing out there? Everybody good? Johnny T, you're not wrong, dude. We got a lot of beautiful people in that chat. What's going on, maggots? Everybody good? I got some new soundboard stuff. You guys are going to love it. Wait till you hear them. So I got rid of my Back to the Future, make like a tree and get out of here. I know, El Nini, the Bills are looking good, baby. And just like that, ladies and gentlemen, Eternal Shaddai has become a magnificent maggot. Thank you. Congratulations, my friend. Congratulations on joining the best channel on all of YouTube. I did not kill Colt Eastwood. Don't worry about it. He's in New York for something else. Listen, Eternal Shaddai, thank you for joining the channel, man. Let me tell you something. I got a special guest who wanted to say something about that.
The Mag Show is the greatest of all time.
That's right. Thank you, Kratos. I agree with you 100%. We even got some representation from Nintendo. What do you got to say about that, Mario?
Mag Show is the greatest of all time.
Hey, man, if Mario says it, then it's got to be true, right? Just saying. Anyways. What's up, everybody? Man, there's so many people here. Like, the chat is actually, you know what? I know that sounds crazy because I'm used to having chats at upwards of 1,000 people, 1,500 people, whatever, when I do like XNC and all that stuff, right? But for me, trying to do the show and everything else, and then looking at this and seeing all these lovely people in the chat here, it's hard to keep up. But I'll get better at it. I promise you. I'll get better. I've been working on the Streamlabs thing, the OBS thing. I got my fun little intro now. I'm gonna change it for the seasons, okay? Right now I got the what's called the neon cafe look. But pretty soon I'm gonna change it to spooky time because it's spooky season. Everybody knows that. Ah, yes, our moderators in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. We got Magnum in the house. Magnum, you know, if you weren't coming tonight because you missed the last two MAGGcasts, I was gonna have to send Vince McMahon after you.
Yeah!
That's right, Vince. That's what I gotta say too, man. Yeah, that's what I gotta say too. Thank you, K-Rock. I appreciate that. Yeah, so we'll get into the show in just a minute. I just want to do a little warm up here, get everybody in it. Listen, man, we're gonna have some uncomfortable talk tonight, okay? And you know, Mag doesn't sugarcoat it. I'm gonna lay off some stuff, but we're gonna have some uncomfortable conversations tonight. Very briefly. But it's something that I haven't addressed. Of course I'm playing Borderlands 4. I've got about 10 hours in there. See, Magnum, it's absolutely ridiculous. He even just said, he goes, I still didn't get a notification even though they turned it on. I don't get it, dude. I don't get it. But anyways, welcome everybody to the show. Yes, I've been playing Borderlands. I've been playing Chronos. So now, as Colt called me this morning, and he told me that he's heading off to New York for 4 days. So he says, no XNC tonight, this and that. And I'm like, all right, cool, dude. Whatever. And then I'm like, you know what? I originally put a post up yesterday saying I'm doing MAGGcast on Tuesday. And then I'm going to stream on Wednesday and Friday or whatever, right? Because my Buffalo Bills are in Miami Thursday night. I mean, I got to watch that game. Like, come on. Right? So, K-Rock, I will be there. I wanted to get past, like, the first couple of missions so I can, like, understand. You know what I'm saying? I just want to, like, understand exactly what I'm doing, because I don't want to make a fool out of myself in front of everybody. I'm kind of that guy. What's up, David Merrifield? How you doing, Manny? Yes, I'm doing well. So, anyhow, instead, what I'm going to do is, I'm obviously doing MAGGcast right now. So, we're doing MAGGcast tonight. And then what we're going to do is we're going to finish Chronos tomorrow. I decided I'm going to finish it tomorrow. Hell or high water, we're going to get this game done. And I'm in the hospital right now, which is like the second last level. And I did not play it. I just played like the little bit where I walked in the door and I just kind of looked around for a minute, got my bearings, and I'm like, okay, I know exactly what I'm going to do as soon as I start the stream. So I'm going to do all that. You know what I mean? And then once I do all that, then we're going to finish Chronos tomorrow. Wednesday, we are going to get into Borderlands, and I'm going to open the doors to the maggots. especially top tier maggots. Anybody who's around wants to play. All maggots are welcome, of course. And then I'll be streaming again Friday as well. So we can play some Borderlands goodness. Listen, let's get into Borderlands right now. Why waste any more time? Let's talk about it. So I understand there's some controversy with the performance issues and stuff like that on PC or whatever else. But I can tell you this. From what I've seen, I've been playing it on the PS5 Pro, okay, so that my wife can play it because we game share together and all that jazz, right? So I've been playing it on the PS5 Pro, and the only thing I noticed, and I will say this, the only thing I noticed so far is that when you're on your, like, digital scooter or whatever the hell it's called, you know that thing? I noticed pop-in. And it was pretty egregious. Like, I mean, like, I was driving over, like, this area, like, right in the opening area of the game, okay? So, like, you get your first, what is it, like, safe room, safe house, whatever the hell you want to call it, safe house in that tower with Claptrap, and you're there, and it's, like, right by the beach and all that jazz. Anybody who played, like, the first 2 hours knows what I'm talking about. So, you're right there, right? So I went to go do a mission that's just outside of there. And, of course, there's, like, a lot of hills, and there's a lot of, you know, like, stuff like that going on and whatever. And so I got on my scooter. I did a mission, then got the scooter, because I did a favor for that giant beefed up dude. I can't remember his name. He's the guy who, like, makes, like, protein bars in the oven and all that stuff and handing out water. He's, like, that super nice guy. He's part of that little like, crew, that, like, a resistance group or whatever. Anyways, they're like, I helped them out with some, like, silly little mission, whatever. And they're like, here you go. You got a digital scooter now. So I'm like, all right, cool. So I'm like, all right, that's all there is to it there. So now I got this thing. So I start driving around. I'm like, let me go for a little drive. Right now it's a little bit slow. It's not, like, super fast moving vehicle. However, it's faster than running, right? So I'm doing all that. And I'm looking in the distance, and you see, like, the hills and all that jazz and whatever else. Yeah, right by the beach, boy. What's up, Snow Dragon? How you doing, buddy? So, I'm looking, and I see bushes just going bing, 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 as I'm getting closer to it. And they're, like, literally, like these green bushes are appearing like popcorn on the side of the hill. And I'm going, God damn it. Other than that, there have been no performance issues on my end. Okay, and I'm playing, like I said, I can't even speak.
You are an idiot. You don't know anything. You don't know squat, you stupid idiot.
That's me. Can't even speak properly. I didn't know any performance issues. Like I said, I'm playing on the PS5 Pro. So it is what it is. Everybody in the chat, let me know. If you're playing on PC, Xbox, or PlayStation, let me know if the performance has been good for you. Because I know some people are going wild about it. Everybody's getting angry about it, this and that, whatever. But I don't see it. Okay, I don't see it on my end. Like I said, the only thing I saw was some pretty egregious pop-in that one little area when I was looking. And like I said, there was that hill. And you see, like I said, you see all these green bushes popping in, literally like popcorn. It was like Jiffy Pop on the stove. It was like pop, 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 as I'm getting closer. And I'm like, God damn it. And it was a little distracting. I'm not going to lie to you. It was a little distracting. But other than that, it's performing great. I got it on performance mode. The thing's flying. I got a great monitor for it, right? So I'm like doing my thing, and I'm like, this is fantastic. What's Magnum saying here? Let's see. He goes, PS4, Xbox One games with a next-gen patch at launch looked and performed better than the games coming out now. You know what? You're not wrong. There's a lot of struggles out there. I think that there's a lot of struggles out there with the Unreal Engine and everything else and optimization that's happening across the board. Listen, I'm not a tech guy, but I do know those kind of things. Okay, so Neil's saying very little on the Xbox Series X as well. Okay, so it's performing there. The I Don't Care podcast. What a great name. PC performance is bad. Okay, so the PC performance is bad. All right. PC Master Race. That's what I got to say to you.
You're fired.
Just go get a console. I'm just kidding. I'm part of the PC Magster race now, so, you know. I'm just making jokes, okay? Nobody get their titties in a twist. Just in case. Oh, Johnny T saying he plays on a PlayStation, but on a 1440p monitor. Hey, must perform great, I guess. Jonathan Schultz is in the chat. What's up, buddy? You're playing... Oh, listen to this, man. He's playing the Mass Effect Legendary Edition for the very first time. Now, answer me this question in the chat there, Jonathan. Have you ever played the Mass Effect series before, or are you just playing the Legendary Edition for the first time? Or are you just playing Mass Effect for the very first time, period? Little Evil is buying it on a deep discount. So there you go, folks. I just wanted to get a little bit of a litmus test out there to see how people thought about the game, or how and people who are playing it are liking it. I mean, I'm loving it. Like, I'm a Borderlands stan, okay? So, like, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I love that game. I love everything about it. I always like. The only thing that gets annoying sometimes is like a little bit of the humor gets a little bit irritating. You're just like, all right, I get it, and I know Claptrap is supposed to be annoying as hell, and he does not disappoint in that category. I can tell you that much. He is fucking annoying. It's really annoying. But it's okay. Holy look at this, guys. Ghostbusters and Jonathan Schultz have never played Mass Effect before. Let me tell you something, guys. Both of you. Jonathan Schultz specifically, you are in for a treat, buddy. You are in for a treat. Cameron, what's up, bud? How you doing, man? You are in for a treat. And I want you to tell me when you're done this journey, when you're done, yeah, I know, a Little Evil, plenty to play out there, buddy. There's no shortage of games right now. I don't know who the hell says gaming is dying, but like, maybe some of the quality and maybe some of the staff members. But I mean, besides all that, there's a lot to play. Anyways, Jonathan Schultz, you're in for a real treat. So when you're done, K-Rock as well, let me know. Let me know what you thought about the series. It's so awesome. Jesus Christ, what's with all these frauds in this chat tonight? I have also never played Mass Effect.
Yeah!
That's it. Get out. Get out. I'm kidding. I'm just actually happy. When someone tells me they've never played like a Resident Evil and they're like, oh, I bought Resident Evil Village, by the way. It's the very first Resident Evil I've ever played, or Resident Evil 7 Biohazard. I've never played Resident Evil before. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not mad at you. I'm actually excited for you because I wish I could be in that position again of being able to sit down and experience it for the very first time. So you know what? I'm happy for you. I'm excited. I'm excited for you. I'm stoked. There you go. Like Jonathan says, I'm stoked too. I'm stoked. But back to Borderlands. So far, I'm loving it. I mean, the guns, the variations and everything else are kind of cool. The power-ups are excellent. I'm using the dude. I'm using the Latino guy with the exosuit. And he's got like I tried using the lasers, the laser swords, right? So I first did that one, and I did the laser swords, and they were a little bit clumsy for me, like, because you go from first person, right? And especially first person performance, you're going like 60 FPS or whatever, or higher, and you're just like, and then all of a sudden you press the power up move, and it immediately goes to third person, and you got these laser swords, and I'm like, oh, dude, that is gonna be some dope shit right there. And it's a little clunky for me. So like I press the button and I go and I do my big lunge, and then I miss the guy. And then as soon as you miss the guy, you are just wide open to attack. And then they just start barraging you from left and right and start kicking the shit out of you. So I'm just like, nah, this ain't it. This ain't it. So what I did is I changed the power up to the one where I've got like these like turrets. They almost look like Dr. Octopus's arms. They go like up in the air like this and start going, and they start hammering bullets or whatever. Then you could press like L1 and then he goes like this, and then your character points, and then it focuses on that one dude or chick or whatever, and just releases like a barrage of bullets even faster, even while you're shooting your gun. So you could shoot your gun and have two turrets that are sitting on your shoulders like these snakes. So you have like 3 streams of bullets going on to one dude or chick and just completely annihilate them. You turn them into Swiss cheese in seconds. So that is my power up. That's what I chose. I always forget the guy's name. Listen, man, I'm not great with names, okay? I'm not great with names. But I just know that he's like the Latino guy. In the exosuit. That's all I know. Top Gamer Pro, what's up, buddy? I saw you were the first in the chat tonight, as always. Yeah. So that's what I'm doing. I'm enjoying the hell out of it. I played about 8 hours. That's it, though. I just wanted to get, like, get my bearings, fart around for a little bit, run around. I played I played with my wife for a bit, pause. And then we just kind of like got a feeling for it or whatever, so that we're not looking like damn fools on day one. Because the last thing you want to do is you want to start Squishy. That's what my wife calls me sometimes. Even though that's false. I'm made of iron. But anyways. We wanted to fart around for a little bit, getting our bearings or whatever. So we don't look like damn fools. Because the last thing I want to do is not know what the hell I'm doing, not know where I'm going. Trust me, I've already done that. Joey Abs, what's up? I've already done that when I started playing some of those other games. Like I was playing Silent Hill 2, had no idea where the fuck I was going. And I'm just going, and I had this on live on the stream, and I have all these people watching me, and I'm sitting there going, well, not all these people. It was like 25 people, but 30 people, something like that. But still, they're watching me, and I don't know where I'm going. I'm literally walking in circles, and it's embarrassing. So I said, we're not gonna do that anymore. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna get yo Zeb Bird, Matt Collin, how you guys doing? And so what ends up happening is I ended up, like I said, getting my feet wet a little bit, wetting my beak. So got in there, started playing. God, it's so good. It's so good. What do you mean keep it PG? I'm sorry, Ghostbusters. This is not XNC. XNC was canceled. But you don't have to worry about XNC tonight because Kratos is going to tell
The
you what's
Mac
up.
Show is the greatest of all time.
Thank you, Kratos. I agree. So that's my talk about Borderlands. Anybody have anything else to say about Borderlands in the chat? You want to talk about something? You want to talk about Borderlands? I know Randy Pitchford's been saying some stuff, but I mean, come on, guys. Did you expect anything else from that guy? That guy's always saying something. Even before the game launched, the guy can't keep his mouth shut. But that's just the way he is, you know? I don't like his long hair, though. He looks like Greta Thunberg with that long hair. He does. I see like everybody's got these thumbnails, like, you know, like Jez is doing. The performance El Nini on the Pro is outstanding. The only thing I was saying, if you missed the beginning of the show, I was talking about there was some pretty egregious pop-in and like some of the landscape and stuff. But other than that, it's awesome. Guerrilla Tactics, what's up? So yeah, other than that, that's basically it. So yeah. No other issues other than that, but like I said, like Randy Pitchford looks a little bit like Greta Thunberg with that long hair. So I see all these people put up all these like, you know, all their like the little thumbnails for their podcasts or their shows or their videos or whatever they're doing on YouTube, and then what ends up happening is that they always put a picture of like Randy Pitchford in the corner, right? And I'm just like, Jesus, that hair, dude. You got to deal with that hair. Maybe pull it back. I don't know. That's kind of 90s. Because then he's going to have like a Steven Seagal ponytail. And nobody needs a ponytail in 2025. Oh, that's what you're saying, Little Evil. You're hearing that there's shader stutter in open areas. Okay. All right. I don't know what that means. I'm not a tech guy. I just know what I see. And when I saw bushes popping in when I'm driving around. Okay. But they'll patch it. They'll patch it. It's not a big deal. Listen, they're gonna listen. This is their premier franchise. If you think for 2 seconds, even 1 second, if you think for 1 second that they're not going to be like working on this 24 hours a day to just continuously improve this thing or whatever else, they're going to. And because they're expecting to sell about 15 to 20 million copies of this, and they will. They will. I know some people don't believe that. But they will sell that many. Like for example, what was it? Borderlands 3. Borderlands 3 was considered the worst Borderlands. It still sold 13 million copies. Ah, great. Wow. What's up, buddy? How you doing, man? Yes. I did see you in the chat. Yes, the family is doing well. And I'm doing well. Yeah, we're just doing a MAGGcast tonight because there's no XNC. So I'm like, well, hell with it. We're going to do it anyway. So let's have some fun. No, Guerrilla Tactics, I did not get to the Indiana Jones DLC yet. We are going to talk about some heavy stuff. So we might as well just get into it. Anybody have any other questions or any talks or anything they want to say about Borderlands before we get into the next one? Because I want to talk about... Ah, there you go, Little Evil. There's some insight, folks. He just said shader stutter is a UE5 problem. Most UE5 games have it. You know, be interesting. I think, and this is not. I'm not saying this to like, you know. I think that the coalition are going to be the only ones who truly are going to be able to grab UE5 by the balls and just, because they are masters of the Unreal Engine, masters, and they've had enough time to work on this game on E-Day. I think that E-Day is going to show everybody what's up. Yo, Nicky Zed, what's up, buddy? How you doing, man? Everybody good out there? Anybody new to the show? Remember something.
Welcome to hell, motherfucker!
Welcome to hell, baby. You're in the Mag Show now. You're in the Mag Show
The
now.
Mag Show is the greatest of all time.
Thank you, Kratos. I agree.
The Mag Show is the greatest of all time.
Okay, Mario, calm down, dude. Okay, you released 2 games since the launch of that Switch 2. Take a seat, Nintendo. Stephen 4XP saying something in the chat about GTA 6 being the largest game launch in history. Of course it will be. It absolutely will be. It absolutely will be. There's no question. It's not going to be the biggest game launch in history. It's going to be the biggest entertainment launch in history, period. There will be no other event larger than Grand Theft Auto 6. Period. No movie, no TV show, no HBO Harry Potter, no nothing, no Avatar. Nothing will come close to Grand Theft Auto 6. Nothing. So there you go. I hope that answered your question. Holy moly cannoli. Emperor Hound. Oh my God, he's made it into the chat, ladies and gentlemen.
Welcome to hell!
What's up, Emperor Hound? How you doing, buddy? I think this might be your first time ever being here. Eamon, what's up? How you guys doing? Diamond Eyes. Diamond Eyes is a fantastic name. That's the kind of name where you have to play a little song like this. Hello, Diamond Eyes. How you doing? Oh my God. Matt Collin, it'll sell more than that. It'll sell more than 100 million copies. Sorry, Diamond Eyes, you're probably a dude, but I mean, I'm just saying the name is hilarious. I love it, man. Anyways, let's get on to something else. And I told you guys last week, told you guys the week before, I told you on XNC, I told you on my live cast when I play games. Venom is not canceled. They switched everything around. Dizzy Delta, I will one of these days. Absolutely. Yeah, okay, Diamond Eyes is a dude. Okay, I take all that back, but it was still funny. I don't care. It was still funny. So the news today, yesterday, and today, they're like, rumors are coming out that the Venom game is coming. I'm like, I told you guys months ago. Mind you, a lot of people don't believe me. I understand that. They're like, he's an unproven insider. I'm like, I'm not an insider at all. I never said I was. Never said I was. I just talk to people in the industry. They tell me shit. And then, like, sometimes they're like, yeah, you can say something if you want. They're like, it's your ass. And I'm like, that's fine. I'll say something. And they're like, or don't say anything. And I'm like, whatever. So I had done a report back in July saying that the next 2 games in the release schedule for Insomniac were going to be Wolverine and Venom. And as it stood at the time, it sounded like Venom was going to hit first in 2026 and then Wolverine 2027, and that's what I reported. Turns out, after a couple of months of sitting around the big round table, is that Venom is not ready yet. Wolverine will be ready first. So that the production of that game moved along a lot better than they had anticipated. And they're like, no, Wolverine looks like it's going to hit first. So you're going to get Wolverine 26, and then you're going to get Venom pushed out. Now, the interesting thing is, and this is something I haven't really talked about, this might be a first right here on this channel here, is that one of the things that we're talking about is that the Venom and Spider-Man 3 are going to share some new tech. And as a result of that, they were working on some new propulsion technology for like the characters and the movement and stuff like that, like and like being able to like maneuver around the map and all that stuff. They were going to use some kind of new, like, motion propulsion technology bullshit. I don't know what the fuck the guy was talking about. But anyways, he was just telling me all this stuff. And he's saying they're working on the new tech for that. And the new tech for the new Venom game, they were going to utilize that also for the engine for Spider-Man 3, which is probably not coming till the next-gen console. So I'm like, okay, that's pretty cool. And then I thought it was odd. And I'm like, well, then why would they say that? Why would you say, the dude I was talking to? And I'm like, so why would you think that Venom is coming first? And he's like, well, that's what they said. Well, turns out that's not the case. So it turns out Venom is not ready. So it looks like you're getting Wolverine first. Yes! FCB. The Venom game does exist. And Tony Todd, there was even talk, by the way, they were like, well, they were even thinking about, which is kind of stupid because they already did it in Spider-Man 2. There was even a rumor out there, not my rumor, nothing like that. Nobody else told me this. They said there was a possibility that they were just going to take all the stuff that they had for Venom and put them into Spider-Man 3. And I'm like, you just did that in Spider-Man 2. Why would you do the same thing again? Makes no sense. You know what I mean? Pushing Polygons, how you doing, buddy? Yo, Street. Literal tables in the chat, too. We got Jake in the chat. Look at all these lovely people coming around. 75 live viewers, guys. Unbelievable. That's the most I've ever had on a MAGGcast. So, super happy to see that. Thank you, guys. Thank you guys all so much for coming. And remember, welcome to hell.
Welcome to hell!
That's right.
Motherfucker!
That's right.
Get in there and fight, maggot!
That's right, maggots. Welcome to the chat. So anyways, that's the news. So turns out it was a old switcheroo, and looks like Wolverine will be first. And yes, as I was saying before, Tony Todd recorded a ton of dialogue before he passed, his untimely passing. And as a result of that, they have ton of stuff to work with. And they will work with that, and then it will, like I said, there was that one rumor said, oh, they're just going to use it for Spider-Man 3. I'm like, that's so dumb. They've already done that. But then turned out that they were going to stretch it into a game, but it was not going to be the full-size game like a full sequel, like a Spider-Man 3 will be a monster game, right? That'll be like a 40-hour experience or whatever the hell they're going to do, right? This would be more like an Uncharted Lost Legacy, where it's going to be like a 10-hour experience, that kind of thing. Miles Morales being another example. But the one thing that they said from Insomniac is that it was going to be a little bit bigger than Miles Morales, but certainly much smaller than Spider-Man 2. And you know what? In all honesty, I'm not going to lie to you guys. I'm kind of Spider-Man'd out. I'm Spider-Man'd out. Jon Snow, what's up? You gave me Spider-Man 1. Fantastic. Loved it. Gave me the remaster. I still played it. Then you gave me Miles Morales. Loved it. Then you gave me Spider-Man 2. I mean, it was good. I mean, like, it was a functioning game. It played incredibly well, obviously. Graphics were fantastic. Everything else, blah, blah, blah. The story... A lot of activists working in that writing department.
Yeah!
That's what I would have done. But yeah, Jon Snow, you're not wrong, dude. And see, that's the thing. When you play 3 Spider-Man games in such a short span of time. So what I did, like I said, I played Spider-Man 2 when it launched, and then they did the remaster right before Miles Morales. Played that too, and then I played Miles Morales. Then I got right into Spider-Man 2 right after that. I'm like, I'm Spider-Man'd out. How many more swingings and this and that and whatever can I do? I'm tired. Ghostbuster. Yeah. And it had nothing to do with Miles Morales, okay? I know some people were saying things like that. It's like, oh, it's woke because of Miles Morales. No, it's not. That's not what it was. If you actually listened to the writing, like there was that one scene, I'll never forget it for the rest of my life. I'm playing this game and I'm going, what is happening? Like Spider-Man's fighting like 8 dudes at once or whatever. You know, you do the thing, you're pulling the guns out of their hands with the thing and he's punching people and swinging. And while he's doing that, if you played the Spider-Man games before, you know that like he talks, right? And so he's like having this running commentary, being a smart ass, whatever, and he's saying all these things. He goes on a 3-minute tirade about gun control. I swear to God, it was so egregious and so out of place that I put the controller down and I'm going, dude, are you just about finished with your bullshit right now? Can you just beat the crap out of the villains, tie him up in a ball, and like have him dangling there so the cops can come get him? And they go like, and you could tell that writer was sitting there going, "I'm gonna stick it to the chin. I'm gonna talk about gun control and this and that." I'm like, nobody gives a shit. We're playing a superhero game. I don't need a 3-minute lecture about gun control. Listen, I don't care about guns either one way or another. I'm in Canada. We are not allowed to have it. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, epic treasures in the house. Epic treasure. That's right, epic treasures in the house. I had this music just for her. That's right, epic treasure. How you doing? Everybody say hi to the Queen of Gaming. You better make sure you go sub to her channel. And don't go to her channel right now. You can go to her channel later. We're here now. You're here to listen to me bitch about Spider-Man.
The Mag Show is the greatest of all time.
Okay, Mario, calm down. Just sit down. But anyways, getting back to that business. I know I was going off on a rant there about the thing. But I mean, it was so out of place that I'm playing this game, right? And like, you're pulling me out of the experience. Right? You're pulling me out of the experience by giving me a lecture about gun control. I don't care. I'm not even allowed to have guns here in Canada. It's not even my fight. I don't have any dog in this fight. But that's not the point. The point is I'm trying to play a game. And you can tell that someone just had to ram it into the story. You know what I mean? And I'm just and then there were many other examples of like crazy stuff that was going on in there. And I'm like, what is this? Come on. Stop. But anyways, whatever. That's besides the point. So anyways, I'm Spider-Man'd out. So the fact that they switched it around and they're going to put Venom, they're pushing Venom on down the road and they're giving us Wolverine first, absolutely want that. I absolutely want that. Absolutely. So give me something completely different. Give me the Wolverine. So then I'm like, okay, no swinging. Maybe, I'll probably like stick the claws in the walls as we saw like in that leak that happened. Ting, 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 you jump in the window and whatever else. Okay, that's pretty cool. I'm down with that. I'm totally down with that. Right? So I'm like, okay, give me that. However, you're gonna have to, there's gonna be a fine line that they're gonna have to walk here. And I'll tell you something about this Wolverine situation. It doesn't need to be like Terrifier 3 level of gore, okay? Like, you don't need to like gut a dude and then rip him in half with your claw and then like his intestines are like dancing like spaghetti and like, you don't need that. Okay? We don't need that level of gore. You don't need ridiculous. But you gotta have some blood. You gotta have some violence in there. And I mean, look at what just happened. The last two Wolverine movies, you had Logan, which was a very violent film, and did incredibly well. And then, of course, you had Deadpool and Wolverine, did insanely well, $2 million in the box office. And of course, on top of that, the most popular Wolverine game ever made, or at least one that had the character in the game, was the Xbox 360, PS3, X-Men Origins Wolverine game, which was such a shock, by the way, because the movie wasn't very good. X-Men Origins Wolverine wasn't very good. But the game came out, and I'm like, what the hell was that? It was so good, and it was violent. Daddy Passion. We got Tim Richards. 80 Storms in the house. So, the 360 PS3 Wolverine Origins Wolverine, whatever the fuck it was called, X-Men Origins Wolverine, fantastic game. 1.5 billion. Thank you, Literal Table. That's for Deadpool and Wolverine. Sorry, I thought it reached 2 billion, but Guerrilla Tactics, the movie had its moments, okay? It had its moments, but it wasn't like a great, you can't put it on the same levels as like Logan or X-Men 2, Days of Future Past. Like, those were dope, man. So anyways, the point is that those three examples I gave you, Xbox 360 / PS3 X-Men Origins Wolverine video game, fantastic and gory. Logan the film, gory and fantastic. And then Deadpool and Wolverine, gory and fantastic. So Insomniac, you're not going to come around and give me some PG Wolverine. And don't give me no, like, Mortal Kombat 2 arcade like this one over here. You're not going to give me that level, like a couple little, shots of blood. You're going to have to do something more than that. Now, like I said, I know it's a fine line to walk here because it's a Marvel property. You got Disney involved, right? But Disney, but you still got them involved. They're still there. So you got them. And then you're trying to market this to the kids because you're going to want to sell more copies, let's face it, right? You're going to want to sell more copies. What do? How do you navigate this? How do you find the halfway point? You know what I mean? Like, how do you find a happy medium that makes the gamers happy? Like, I'm not going to be a pain in the ass about it, but you can't go soft on me either. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. GM, thank you. You can't, like, Barbie Horse Adventures. It can't be a Wolverine Barbie Horse Adventures. It's got to have something. Like, you've got, like, Assassin's Creed Shadows. You can, like, you can take limbs off and shit like that. They're like Assassin's Creed Valhalla. And, like, a leg goes lopped off and starts rolling down the hill or whatever else. I mean, it doesn't need to be that level. No, those games sold incredibly well. I think the M rating really doesn't mean much at the end of the day. Because it's not like, it's not like a movie or anything. But, like, you could buy the game at home. My son is 12. He bought Borderlands 4. Like, did a guy come out of the screen going, "Can I see your ID, sir?" You know what I mean? Like, that didn't happen. When GTA 6 is the same shit, right? Him and all his friends are all going to be playing GTA 6, so it doesn't really make a difference. But I think they're going to have to, like I said, they're going to have to find the happy medium. But either way, I'm excited for it. So, long story longer, Spider-Man, I'm Spider-Man'd out. Let's move on to Wolverine. And give me a nice long break. Because then after that, you're going to give me 2 games back-to-back. You're back to the same old shit, swinging around. It's either going to be Spider-Man 3 doing that, or you got Venom with his, like, his, whatever, those tentacle thingies he's got. Whatever the fuck he's got. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah, no kidding, GM, I know. There is, like, a Wolverine, like those werewolves. They look like Wolverine with the claws and stuff. Yeah, it's pretty hilarious. I did not talk about that yet, Mike. Welcome to the show, buddy.
Welcome to hell!
That's right.
Motherfucker!
Yeah, that's right. Welcome to hell. Okay, guys. We talked about those things. All right, let's talk about the video game industry and what's going on out there. We got to talk about it. Cold's secret event before we talk about it. Noisy Mofo was asking what's Cold's secret event. That's like when people tell me something in the industry. Like I talked to somebody at Microsoft, they're like, "Give me the source." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm gonna tell some guy on Twitter the name of the executive at Microsoft that can get him fired." It's like I'm just kidding, Noisy Mofo. I can't do that. It wouldn't be secret if I told you, would it? You know what I mean? So Colt Eastwood will be in New York. He's there with Paris, and a couple of other people out there, and they got something going on we can't talk about. When they're ready to talk about it, they'll talk about it, or when their NDAs have expired. But until then, and by the way, he didn't tell me anything. Just so you know, someone at Microsoft told me what it was. But either way, I didn't realize he was going to be gone for 4 days. I thought he was going to be gone for like a day or two because like New York is like not that far from where he lives. So just, a little short flight over or whatever. But he's like, no, he's there for 4 days. So I'm like, oh, dude, that's a long ass trip. I mean, not in a physically long trip, but like it's a long time to be staying there to be doing what you're doing. But, But either way, when they're ready to tell you and when the NDAs expire, they will tell you all about it. Don't ask questions, guerrilla tactics. Just because you're asking questions doesn't mean I'm going to tell you. I can't tell you. Now, Colt will say the same thing. Yeah, Colt is with Paris Hilton. That's right, Magnum. That's right. He's with Paris Hilton. He is not with Paris that we know. So, either way, when they're ready to tell you guys, he will explain it all in detail on XNC. Not saying the next XNC, but he will be saying something about it after that. Maybe after the Tokyo Game Show. But we don't know. All right, let's get into this conversation. We don't have to rehash. It's a good thing you're talking with me, because if there's one person who's going to talk about this stuff and stay level-headed about everything, it's me. We all know what happened last week. We don't have to rehash this, okay? It's been the topic of conversation on every single podcast, every single show, every single video. Not every single one, but almost every single one. Dispatcher, what's up, dude? And we don't need to get into it. And we're not going to get into it. We're not going to get into that conversation. It's been too much. It's been too much. You know, and we're not going to get into that. However, there has been in the last couple days, as things have been coming to light, people saying certain things online and whatever else. There's been a lot of stuff going on in the gaming industry. And people saying things, people getting fired, all that kind of stuff, right? And posting posts and whatever, saying what they're saying, inappropriate, whatever. And they say things like, you know, and it's just like, it is what it is, man. Like I said, I don't give a fuck what side of the fence you sit on all this kind of stuff. I really don't. Developers. Danny Passion Official, a member for 2 months. He's saying, I am on my way to NYC at this moment. Maybe I'll see Colt. Just look for him at the root beer stand, because he sure as hell ain't drinking. What's up, C Marvel? How you doing? Thank you, Mike. I appreciate that. And like I said, once again, I'm not going to say, I'm not going to attack one side or the other and this and that and say, oh, you know, you're wrong and you're wrong and you're wrong and you're wrong. The only thing I know is that when something like that happens, there's a level of appropriate behavior, whether you agree with somebody or not, and there's a level of inappropriate behavior in my books. And that's something that I will always hold as one of my morals. I don't give a fuck who it is. And when people were posting certain things, saying some pretty horrible shit out there, I will not, you know, that there's times, let the dead rest. I work with a lot of Jamaicans, South Americans, Guyanese, Trinidadians. And that's a saying, that's a West Indies saying. You know, sometimes some shit would happen or whatever, and I would always get that hand on me and it'd be like, let the dead rest. Let the dead rest. And when, you know, that's what they would say to me, and that's like a mantra that I follow. Let the dead rest. Oh! So, you've got some people out there, which I don't give, like I said, I don't give a shit about what. But there's certain things you do and you don't say. And some of the stuff I saw, I'm not going to bring them up. I'm not going to read them out to everybody. I'm not going to call out their names. That's already been done. I'm just giving my thoughts and opinions on this. Is that once you say those things, especially horrible things, some pretty horrible shit out there. I'm sure you guys have seen it. We don't need to rehash that. That's inappropriate no matter what. Even if you want somebody gone. You know, you're like, oh, you know, I hope, you know, Saddam Hussein is dead and this, that. I still never talk shit about it. Like when he was, you know, when that happened, when he was executed and all that kind of stuff, right? I didn't say a word about it because I'm like, you know, it's done. You know what I mean? And I wouldn't go online and say horrible things, whatever. And this is not the same situation. It's not. But I'm just saying there's an appropriate way to handle things, whether you agree or disagree on a certain topic or whatever topics. There's appropriate behavior and inappropriate behavior. And the inappropriate behavior has gotten a lot of people fired. Because what's happened is they put a lot of shit on social media. Blue Sky specifically.
You're fired.
And that's exactly what happened. And so people started to, got into whatever. Screenshotting this, doing that, whatever. Steven, I'll get to that in just a moment, my friend. And what ended up happening is a lot of people lost their jobs and whatever else. Now, I don't give a shit about that. You say stupid things, win stupid prizes, or what is it? Play stupid games, win stupid prizes, or whatever else. You can disagree, and there's no problem with that. You could be like, hey, listen, I'm a Republican. I feel about this, that, and the other. I'm not even American, but I'm half American. And then someone can say, I'm a Democrat, and I feel that this, that, or whatever. And you go, okay, cool. I respect your view. And you can say, I respect your view, or whatever else. And that's totally cool. And I agree with all that stuff. And I'm like, there's no problem with that. It's just like video games. We talk about it all the time. Someone in my chat or another chat or whatever can sit in there and can say, you know what? I hate these goddamn ponies and this and that, or I hate this. I hate the PlayStation's a piece of shit, and then the PS5 Pro's a scam. And I'm like, all right, that's cool. I'm not gonna come after you. I'm not gonna make videos about you. I'm not gonna do a video and like have your tweets in the corner. You know what I mean? And read all of them and talk shit about you. I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna say, okay, that's your opinion. I respect your opinion. All right? And then I could turn around and say, you know what? I have the PS5 Pro, and I love it. I'm really enjoying it. And you could say the Xbox Series X is a pile of shit. Xbox has no games, and da-da-da, and da-da-da. And that's why I stopped making Ponymaster 420 videos. That's one of the reasons. I've told you guys before, there's multiple reasons why I stopped making those videos. Yeah, they were funny. Yeah, I was wearing my wife's underwear and bra all the time. And it was funny, but it got too much. So I started, stopped doing that too. So then all of a sudden someone do something stupid. And then I stopped doing those videos. And it is what it is. Right? But then I could turn around. You could say all that horrible shit to me. You could say, oh, Xbox Series X. And then I'm like, okay, that's cool. That's your opinion. I say, I have an Xbox Series X. And actually, it's a very sound piece of hardware. That's actually pretty incredible hardware, in my opinion. It's actually the best built Xbox console they've ever made. That's the way I feel about it. Right? And we can agree to disagree. And that goes for video games, film, television, comic books, our favorite porn stars. You know what I'm saying? So, like, we can have all those different things. But, like, and the same thing with politics. Same thing with politics. Topical discussions. You can talk about whatever. Political issues, social issues. You can talk about all those different things, and we can agree or disagree about it. I'm totally cool with that. Now, here's where it gets into the video game industry. By the way, before I get into that, I wanted to say that Steven, 4XP, drops a $4.99 super chat, and he says, thank you so very much, my friend. He says, did Venom get delayed internally? There's talks to Wolverine is still considered for 26. Obviously, you missed my discussion about Wolverine, so I will tell you about it. Looks like Venom is being pushed out. They're working on some new tech that they're also going to be utilizing for Spider-Man 3, and they have moved up Wolverine because they say they're actually much closer to Wolverine than they were with Venom. So there you go. Thank you, buddy. I really appreciate that once again.
Get in there and fight, maggot!
That's right, maggots. Thank you so much for supporting. So much for supporting. We're almost at 100 viewers, guys. We are about to break a record. So anyways, get back to the topic here. This is where it ties into the video game industry.
Oh!
Is that we all knew this. I've been talking shit for a long time about that. I've been saying it on XNC, and I know it makes some people uncomfortable or whatever. And I said, listen, man, you could see it in the games. You could say, I just said it in the Spider-Man 2 thing. There's a lot of activists they've been hiring at these companies. As a result of that, it's some of that shit seeps into the games, and like you see it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like you're just kind of like, am I being preached to? And I don't like being preached to when I'm doing my entertainment. I don't mind like the topical things being in. They're like, oh, but it's in there forever. And I'm like, yes, it has. In all forms of entertainment, there's always political topics or topical social discussions that have always shown up in video games, film, television shows, all those things. All in the Family in the 70s, every single week, if you're old enough to watch that show. or remember that show anyway. Every single week there was another political discussion, whether it was race relations or whether it was about the LGBTQ community, all that kind of stuff. There was every week it was a topical discussion on that show, and it was always like, you know, argued or debated. And of course Archie Bunker was playing the part of like, you know, the more traditional bigoted type, and then you had like Rob Reiner was playing like the cool liberal dude, and they would always argue about it, and they say these are my views, and it was part of the show. So yes, it's always been there, but it was never preachy. It was entertaining. And I noticed that in video games, and I'm sure we have all noticed this too, is that, no, I'm not saying it's every game, C Marvel. I'm just saying, like, in some games you kind of see, you know, you see some stuff and you're like, yeah. You know, like I said, the Spider-Man 2 thing. Like, God damn it, that writing in that game. But anyways, whatever. It's besides the point. The point is that a lot of people started saying some really stupid shit online. And as a result of that, they got fired. Now, the ghost of Yotei Drama. You know, you've got the main actress there just egging on all kinds of shit. You can see what she's trying to do. She's trying to egg people on, the chuds or whatever the fuck they call them. I don't know. I'm not part of that thing. You know, she's saying all this stuff, whatever, trying to egg people on and get them all pissed off or whatever else. And now you've got some of the developers out there who got caught saying some pretty horrible things online, and they got fired. Right? And they got fired. At the end of the day, the way it looks is that you represent the company you work for. And even on your social media, and you guys should all know this by now. That's why when you're on social media, you can't just say anything you want. You think you can, but you can't. Because they even have it in the clauses. I see them. When you hire somebody, they got like the employee handbook, they hand you. Some of that says in there, it says you can't say this and that or whatever on social media. We'll fire you for that shit. And so they did anyway, and they got caught and they got fired. So that's going to happen. That's the way it is. You know what I mean? And so that's been happening over the last 5 days, 6 days. Whatever. Right? And so we see that happening. So then, well, how did that turn into the customer? Well, what turned into the customer is that there were some people online, they were saying they were trying to boycott Ghost of Yotei and this and that, whatever, blah, blah. And this is where I have a problem. I have a problem that there needs to be a separation between a specific person and a product. And the reason why I'm saying that, I understand, and that may be an unpopular thought, but hear me out for a second. Just hear me out. What I'm trying to say is, I don't agree with that part entirely. If the entire company is behind it and saying, we all stand in unity, go fuck yourself, then I'd be like, okay, you know what? Keep your product, asshole. Keep it. I ain't buying it. That's a different story. But when you got one like psychotic lunatic saying stupid shit on Blue Sky or whatever the frig they're on, my problem is that there are 300, 400 other people that worked on that game. Not all of them feel the same way. Right? And you can have, and you can't say, oh, it's all the left, it's all the right. You have people from all sides who are not saying those things. And the problem with that is that I know it's kind of tough, but you kind of like they don't deserve to suffer because of one lunatic, right? Or two, or maybe four. Cut out that cancer, which is what they did. And I think that that's the right move. And that's my opinion on that. Danny Passion drops a $5 US super chat. And he says, thank you, my friend. Thank you, Danny Passion. He says, remember when I said it on XNC chat that I hope that the hate didn't come to gaming and already infected games. I am Charlie Kirk. Jesus is king. Thank you very much, Danny Passion Official. I appreciate your super chat, my friend. And you have, as this is a free speech chat, Meet the Cheater. That's a great name, dude. I love that name. Yeah, I see you guys are giving examples of a lot of shows that were very political and whatever else, but they were entertaining. It wasn't hateful. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't done on it was done on purpose, but I mean, it wasn't done you know what I mean? It was meant to provoke thought, and you could feel the difference. There's a difference between presenting something that provokes conversation, that provokes thought, that provokes, that promotes a debate, wonderful. That's great. Happens all the time, right? That's a good thing. But when you feel like it's my way or the highway or whatever, or you're getting canceled, that's where you lose me. Because then it's no longer about debate. You just want to hear yourself. Hence the echo chamber. And that's where I have a problem with. I don't like that. I generally don't get involved in political discussions and all that stuff. I stay out of it because it's too, you know what I mean? It's too whatever. And then now it's, just like Danny Passion said, it is now spilled into the gaming space. Right? And as a result of spilling into the gaming space, now it's affecting us. It's affecting our hobby, our passion, the things that we like to do. Devil Dog said probably the best thing I've seen in this chat. He says, free speech may be your right, but all actions have consequences. There you go. So now let's talk about this boycott of Ghost of Yotei. I don't think it's going to work. I still think that Ghost of Yotei in about 3 weeks from now, guys, you know how fickle the fans are. Not the fans, but the population, the great unwashed, as the Royals would say, right? In 3 weeks, they'll forget about this, not everybody, but a lot of people will just be like, I'll just get the game anyway. It's coming out today or whatever. People are still going to get it. It's still going to sell millions of copies. And the thing is, at the end of the day, I don't want everybody else to suffer as a result of that. You know what I'm saying? That's what I was getting at. Like, when you've got, like, let's say 400 people working their asses off for 5 years on this game, and you get some lunatic saying very inappropriate things, cut the cancer out. Snip, 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 snip. Just cut them out. Bye. Get rid of them. That's it. And then wash your hands clean of it. Put out a statement, which they did, and said, listen, this is not a workplace where we promote this kind of thing, right? And then that's all there is to it. They said their piece. They got rid of the people. As the Beatles once said, let it be. You know what I'm saying? Let it be. Good evening, Jason. How you doing, buddy? Brian East is in the chat. It's done now. They're out. They'll try to find some other way in, and if they do, cut them out again. That's all there is to it. Don't fight with anybody. Don't get into it. It is what it's going to be. You just set your parameters of decency. And like I said, you could disagree about any topic. No problem with that. But there should be some level of public decorum, of decency that people should have, especially for one another. And then you set those boundaries and you live within those boundaries and say, okay, this is appropriate social behavior. You act within those, you're in. If you don't, go somewhere else where you could be toxic somewhere else. That's not appropriate. And so that's where I draw the line there. Now, Danny Passion drops another $2 super chat, and he says, I have the company, cut the cancer, support the game. There you go. So like I said, there's 400 other people working at that studio that work their asses off for it. They don't deserve any of that smoke. They don't. I know some people are very cut and dry. They're like, nope, fuck them. I'm not getting this game. Not happening. Yeah. Not getting it. And that's totally fine. You have the freedom to do it. You are a customer first. Your money is your money. You choose how you want to spend it. And you have that right to do it, and I will never criticize anybody for doing that. If you decide to boycott the game and you say it in the chat, say, I'm boycotting the game, fuck them, then absolutely. I stand by you 100%. I stand by your decision. Your customer, it's your cash, your money, your life. You do it. I'm just saying from my point of view that I'm not going to hurt the developers, the other developers. I had it pre-ordered, I don't know, a month ago, 2 months ago. I try to buy games so that it doesn't show up in the credit card all at once, so my wife doesn't notice. Bloodshot, that's what I'm kind of thinking. They cancel the individual, not the game. Yeah, that's that. Like I said, not everybody. You know what I mean? Not everybody acted that way, and I feel like those people are being like. Can you imagine those people in the office?
Welcome to hell.
You know what I'm saying? Those people in the office are sitting there going, this fucking guy. This could be my life. You know, I got 3 kids at home and a wife and 2 cars and a mortgage, and this fucking guy is saying stupid shit, and then people are boycotting the game, and we're fucked. Now we're all gonna be looking for jobs or whatever. You know, I'm just being a little bit melodramatic, but you get what I'm talking about. So there's probably a lot of people there that are really pissed off, and probably just saying like, "Come on, man, we're not all like that." So. You know, I'm just saying, maybe just give them a benefit of the doubt. That's all I'm trying to say. I'm not saying they're great, but I'm also saying they're maybe not part of the problem. That's all I'm trying to say. This is a very difficult conversation, guys, especially by myself here. I know I'm reading you guys in the chat and everything else, and but I'm talking here myself. I feel like I'm on a podium, right? So I don't really have any give and go with any other human being right now other than you wonderful people in the chat. But I'm just trying to say, like, I think, there's got to be a compromise, and the compromise has to be there. Let's get into Bethesda. That showed up in conversation as well. Blizzard, same deal as Sucker Punch. There's some people saying some horrible things and whatever else, and it got called out, and then they got fired or whatever else. However, there was something that happened today, which I didn't even realize happened, but Bethesda took it down. Somebody got a hold of their account. Thank you, Bloodshot. I appreciate that. By the way, you're new to the chat. Welcome to hell, buddy.
Welcome to hell!
That's right.
Motherfucker!
Thanks for being here. So, someone at Bethesda, I don't know if you guys heard about this, because they pulled it down real fast. Except the internet is faster, dude. Whenever you think you're fast, internet's faster. Someone over there posted a clip of Indiana Jones petting a cat, right? It was some part in the game. And then he said, "Oh, you don't like the fascists either?" And then cut the clip. That was the clip. You can't tell me that wasn't on purpose. You can't convince me that was not on purpose. Why, of all clips of Indiana Jones, did you choose that one? Is that not insane? Anyways, it went up. So, like, obviously you don't see Indiana Jones. You just see his arm, right? Because it's, first person. So you see a little kitty, like, walking around. And then, like, his arm comes out and he goes, "Oh, hey, kitty, I guess you don't like the fascists either." And then cut the clip. And I'm like, you posted that? Yeah, there you go, Sofa King, yeah. After the backlash started, like, literally instantly, they're like, bruh, as the kids would say. They're like, bruh, are you fucking kidding?
Do not come.
Are you kidding?
Do not come.
I'm gonna come.
Yeah!
Well, there's another one down the toilet. Anyways, they posted that. Whoever had a hold of the account. Now, the thing that's unfortunate, once again, you have one asshat who's got a hold of their social media account, and then they do something like that. Because I don't think it was Todd Howard sitting there going, and then, like, made a clip. Just fucking, you know what I mean? That didn't happen. Anyway, someone else has the clip. If you go to Ryan Kinnell, I know a lot of people don't like Ryan Kinnell. He's part of the RK Outpost. He's got almost 500. He's got, like, I don't know, 400,000 subs, almost 500,000 subs. He has the clip. He's part of the fellowship with, like, the Nerdrotic crew and all those guys. Gary Buechler and everything else. And so he had the clip. I don't even know how the hell he got it. So obviously somebody sent it to him. That's the only thing I could think of. So somebody must have sent it to him. Anyhow, the point is that they erased it instantly. Because what happened is the backlash was just out of control. And so everybody was like, are you fucking kidding? Like, this is like the official Bethesda page, like, or whatever, like Twitter account or whatever the fuck. However, before everybody, like, starts lighting torches and getting the pitchforks out, just hang on a second. You got one idiot. Now you've got a whole bunch of people in that office going, is this guy for fucking real? Who's working this thing? Because you know that these social media, whatever, managers or whatever, they're not even in the office. It's not like they're sitting in the office. They're sitting at home watching Grey's Anatomy. And part of their job is they have to post 5 times a day or whatever. They get paid like, I don't know, $50 a day. It's like a side gig, you know, like, okay, $50 a day. You have to make sure you have to put 5 posts. You have to have this much interaction. If you have this much interaction, we'll give you $100 a day to do that kind of shit, whatever. You're the social media, whatever. So it could be just some dude sipping on fucking, a cup of soup, watching Grey's Anatomy with his little toast. And then he puts some stupid shit up there like that, right? Does the whole company have to suffer? I bet you a lot of them were really pissed off about that. And they don't even have to, like, they don't even have to even support the deceased. They could just be normal. Just be like, listen, I didn't like the guy, but that's fucking ridiculous. Like, you can't be saying shit like that or whatever, right? So there's probably a lot of people there that do that. There's thousands of people who work for Bethesda. Can all of them possibly all be the same thing? We can't blanket statement people like that, because that's not fair for them too. So as unfair as it is for him to say, or for that person to put up a post like that egregious, it's also unfair for us to judge the rest of the company as a result. So that's how I feel about that too. So people are freaking the fuck out. Everybody's like, nope, no more Bethesda, no more Bethesda, no more Bethesda, this and that. I'm like, okay. I'm like, everybody take a breath. Everybody take a breath. Calm down. Let's just meditate on it. Let's just meditate on it. Let's just chill out for a minute. Yes, Neo, of course the arcades work, man. What do you think, these are cardboard? Sorry, he was asking about the arcade machines. He's like, do they work? I'm like, of course they work. I don't have them turned on. Can you imagine all the lights in here if I have... when I have friends over and I have a party or something, I turn all the arcade machines on, and it's literally a full arcade in here. Like, all the sounds and bells and whistles. It's a blast, man. But anyways...
Welcome to hell.
Yeah, Tim Richards, you're not wrong, dude. You're not wrong. He says, I can blanket statement that Bethesda's games over the years have never impressed me graphically. I'm actually not a big fan of Bethesda's games. Outside of machine games, I really enjoy machine games. I really like them. And Skyrim I enjoyed. Wasn't a huge Skyrim fan. I don't know, just whatever. But I'm a huge machine games fan. I've always loved the Wolfenstein reboot and everything. Colt and I talked about it last week. I really enjoy that stuff. But other than that, they're not really doing much for me. And I mean, Elder Scrolls 6, I would imagine should be, just spectacular. But and Starfield didn't really do it for me either. I just didn't like the flow of the game. It just didn't work for me. And I did give it the good old college try. But anyway, that's not the point. The point is, I just feel, I may be in the minority here. Maybe not. I'm not sure. But I don't feel that everybody else needs to suffer for that, because we don't hear all the voices of everybody. We only hear that one voice, right? And I don't feel that it's fair that one voice gets represented by the entire company. And that's something that bothers me. So I'm like, nah, we can't do that, guys. There's like 2,000 people that work there. There's no way 2,000 people all feel the same way. There's no way. So as a result of that, cut out the cancer, like I said. Round them up, like the sheriff, and walk them out of town. Like Wyatt Earp. You tell him I'm coming, and hell's coming with me. That's right, Doom is epic. Yeah, sorry, Zeb. I forgot Doom. My apologies. My apologies. Doom is awesome. 2016 Doom is the best of that trilogy, by the way, just so you know. So anyways, that's how I feel about that. I just don't think that everybody should suffer. Like I said, we don't get to hear what the other 2,000 people said, or 1,999 people, and there's, another 2 people. Danny Passion drops another $2 super chat. Thank you very much, Danny Passion. He says, why people just can't shut it, or can't just shut it? Yes, that's all I'm trying to say. You may disagree and do everything else or whatever else, and that's totally fine. You just don't have to say egregious shit online that's going to get people riled up and really inappropriate stuff. And I saw some pretty bad ones out there. I'm not going to repeat them here. We're all big children, okay? We all know how to read. You go to the internet and you could see all the horrible shit that people were saying. And like I said, I don't care what side of the fence you stand on, or even if you're in the middle, even if you're standing on the fence. There's no room for any of that. None. Because my beliefs and everything else, if I disagree with somebody else, I don't want them dead. I just disagree with them. That's all. So, you know. But anyways, you got 2,000 people there. I don't think that 1,999 people should suffer. There might be 20 people who feel that way. There might be 25 people at Bethesda who may have said stupid shit. Cut them out. That's all you have to do. Get rid of them. But I don't think that everybody else that goes and shows up to work every day and busts their ass and rolls their sleeves up and sits down at their computer or goes into their meetings and does whatever, or sitting there animating for Elder Scrolls 6 and doing all this for 15 hours a day. They got a newborn sitting at home. You know, wife is a teacher, and so you gotta pay for daycare for your kid, and you gotta pay your mortgage and your car, and your groceries are getting more expensive, and life just keeps getting more expensive. You can't have 1 or 5 or 20 people ruin that for you. Just get rid of those 5, 10, 20 people. Get rid of them. You say your statement and you move on. Microsoft did make a statement, as a matter of fact. Did you guys see it? I'm sure you saw it. You know, Microsoft said, there's no place for this in our company, this and that, and that was all and they fired a shitload of, not a shitload, but they fired a bunch of people. Done. The thing is, the more you feed into them, just like trolls and guys, just like trolls on YouTube and the internet, Twitter, the more you feed them, the stronger they get. You ignore them, they lose their power. So the best thing to do is ostracize them from civilized society. And a true civilized society is one that can disagree and agree to disagree and have conversation. Not violence. Not violent talk. Not violent threats. Certainly not murder. And if you can exist inside of that civilized society, then you could be there. If not, ostracize them. Because once a plant doesn't get its sun and its water, the plant withers away and dies. And that's how you deal with it. That's how you deal with it. I mean, that's my thoughts. And I know you guys have been telling your thoughts in the chat. I know this has been a conversation that, I'm fidgeting a lot in this chair right now because it's a hard conversation to have. Pushing Polygons drops a $20 super chat. Thank you, my friend. He says, I'm tired of people not having a certain level of decorum. Thank you very much. We all needed to find common ground and start from there. Thank you very much. That's all we're looking for. You don't have to agree. You don't have to do any of that stuff. Just common ground to be able to have civilized conversation, live in a civilized society. That's it. No one's asking for anything else. At least not me, anyway. So that's how it's been spilling into the video games. So we shall see how this all comes to fruition, because as it stands right now, people are boycotting Bethesda. I think the only game coming out of them is, when is the next game coming out from Bethesda? It's not out. Outer Worlds 2 is what's it called? I always forget their name. Great YouTuber I am, eh? I can't remember any fucking names. Of course, Ghost of Yotei is a few weeks away, so that's a lot closer. And there's a lot of people who are boycotting that game. I understand that, whatever. Thank you very much, Pushing Polygons. I appreciate that, buddy. I truly do.
Get in there and fight, maggot!
That's right. Get in there and fight, maggots. Stay in the trenches, man. Anyway, the point is that Ghost of Yotei is a few weeks away. That means that it is definitely in the crosshairs in the short term, right? Because it's literally just weeks away. And, as a result of that, it may actually get some backlash, right? It may actually lose some sales. We don't know. We're going to have to find out. Obsidian, for the love of Christ. So obviously Outer Worlds 2 is the next Xbox game. Call of Duty, I don't give a shit what anybody says. Call of Duty's not an Xbox game. It's not. It's just like my favorite girls. It's for the streets. Everybody gets it. It's like, as like they say in the UK. Call of Duty's the village bicycle. Everybody's had a ride. That's right. Call of Duty's everybody's game, man. It always has been, always will be. So the next Xbox game, it's going everywhere as well, but it's an Xbox studio. Maybe I'm being a little contradictory because so is Activision. But I mean, Activision's its own conglomerate. I really never saw them as an Xbox studio. It's almost like they're just a division, but they're not even really part of it. But I always felt like Obsidian, when they took on Obsidian, I feel like Obsidian is an actual Xbox game studio. Does that make sense? Or am I just talking out of my ass? I don't know. You decide in the chat. But I feel that it's the kind of, that anyway, the real next Xbox game is Outer Worlds 2. They're not part of Bethesda, whatever. So they're their own thing. And I think the game will do just fine. Call of Duty will do fine. Ninja Gaiden, hit and miss. And I'll tell you why it's hit and miss. This is what I'll tell you why. The graybeards like us, even though I don't have a gray beard, I used Just for Men earlier today. That's right. Medium brown, ladies and gentlemen, medium brown. The graybeards like us grew up with Ninja Gaiden. The kids today did not. So they may not even know what the hell it is. They'll be like, what the hell is this Ninja game? They're like, all right, let's check it out. They might check it out and fall in love. It'll be like, holy crap, this is amazing. But we don't know. We don't know. We'll see how it goes. I think it'll still do okay. And plus, it's going to be in Game Pass anyway, so there's going to be a lot of people a lot of people playing it, whatever else. So in the end, out of all this discussion and of all these talks of boycotts and everything else and whatever else, I still think that these games are going to do incredibly well. I think people will start to cool off a little bit on both sides of the fence. And then I think, level heads will prevail in the end and people kind of chill out and we'll see from there, right? So anyway, that's my thoughts on that. So I think that the games will still do well and will sell well and make a lot of money. And we'll continue to do that. I don't give a shit about them making money, but I do give a shit that they make just enough money to keep going to say, hey, this is profitable. Let's keep making more video games for Mag and all his friends. You see, Rush Fan just said that in the chat there. He goes, the one on NES was so hard to play but fun. Yes, but that should show you like how aged Ninja Gaiden is. My son has no idea what Ninja Gaiden is because the last Ninja Gaiden game that came out, he wasn't even born yet. Doesn't mean he's not going to try out the new one. He will. But there's no legacy for him. You know what I'm saying? There's no legacy for him because he's like, okay, I never heard of this. And you're not wrong, Fuzzy Tomato. Hey, Fuzzy Tomato, how's it going? I didn't even said hi to you yet. He goes, I was thinking this Ninja Gaiden had a chance to really blow up, but it's going to be tough with October being so loaded. Yes. October is loaded. So it's going to be rough. It's going to be rough in these streets. But anyways, we shall see. Talos Ray, how you doing, buddy? So yeah. So that's all I'm going to talk. Listen, I'm not going to talk anymore about any of that stuff. I think I've exhausted everything that I wanted to say about what's going on. Not only in the political world, but also in the gaming world, how it's affected the gaming world. Shockingly, the Emmys were on last night. I only watched about 30 minutes of the Emmys because it was on because I was waiting for the Minnesota Vikings game to come on. I'm not a Minnesota Vikings fan, but it was Atlanta and Minnesota, and I kind of wanted to watch it. So I'm like, I wanted to watch this game. So I had 30 minutes. I was just sitting there, so I'm like, I'll watch the Emmys. So I watched 30 minutes of the Emmys, waiting for one of those fucking people to say something, especially Hollywood. They didn't say peep. They didn't say peep. I bet you every single agent in Hollywood probably went to their guys and went, hey, do me a favor. Shut the fuck up tonight. Because you know celebrities just can't help themselves, eh? They can't help themselves. They got to make sure the whole world knows how important they are. And what they got to say is so important. Because they're so special. They just can't fucking help themselves. But they didn't say a peep last night. Not a peep. Which is good. I'm happy about that. Rush fan, calm down. He goes, my Cowboys kicked New York Giants' butt. Dude, they won in the last minute, okay? Last second. It's not kicking their butts. If they won 40-3, I would say they kicked their butts. But it was close. And it was a damn good game. Tim Richards, of course they're allowed to speak. But what I'm trying to say here is... What I'm trying to say is they always use their platform to yammer about whatever political thing. You remember when Jim Cameron, Jesus Christ. Not James Cameron. You remember when Jim Carrey went up on the stage and made fun of them? I don't know if you guys remember that. It was a while ago. And he went up there and he says, I know that every time someone wins something, they always use it as a political platform during their acceptance speech to say something. And he went up there and he started screaming "Viva El Salvador" for absolutely no reason. And his hair was all crazy and he was going nuts. It was the funniest thing I'd ever seen. He kept going "Viva El Salvador" and he was like going wild and whatever. And everybody in the crowd was so stunned, not realizing that he was literally just making fun of them for all of that. And yes, Tim Richards, you're right. They're allowed to say whatever the hell they want. I'm just shocked that nobody made a little snarky remark or a comment or this and that or whatever, or try to get a you know what I mean? Try to say something in those. It was wild. It was wild to see. But anyways, I didn't watch the whole damn show. I only watched a bit because I was waiting to watch the football game. So anyways, doesn't matter. Oh, Ricky Gervais used to destroy them. That's right, Devil Dog. Ricky Gervais used to go up there and annihilate them. And it was wonderful to watch. But anyways, back to video games. Joe Dunmore is in the chat. What's up, buddy? How you doing, man?
Welcome to hell!
That's right.
Motherfucker!
That's right. Welcome to hell, buddy. And we got Jay Slayer in the house, too. How you doing, man? So anyways, we're going to move on from that. We're not going to talk about it anymore. Yeah. Tim Richards says, yeah, it's true. The South Park episode. That was great. I know some people are talking about the ROG Ally. There was some issues there. People saying, oh, if you buy Battlefield 6 on PlayStation, or not on Xbox, excuse me, it doesn't work on the ROG Ally or this and that, whatever. I don't have all the information yet. When I do get all that information, I'm going to compile it all this week because I haven't said a peep about it. And I know what the discourse is right now. This is the last thing we're going to talk about before we sign off for the night, guys. Not a super long show. There's a lot of stuff going on right now. They're saying, like, I've seen some podcasts out there. And like I said, I watch everything, man. I'm not one of those guys who just watches one kind of show and this and that or whatever and all that kind of stuff. Jay Allen, what's up? I watch everybody. And the reason why I watch everybody is exactly what I just talked about for 40 minutes. I watch everybody because I want to hear what all sides are saying. I want to hear it. I want to absorb it and say, you know what? He's right and he's right. He's wrong and he's wrong, but he's right and he's right. And that guy's wrong. And I'll just listen. And I mean, that's my personal judgment. My personal judgment saying they're right or they're wrong is entirely subjective at the end of the day. I understand all that. But I'm just trying to say that what I'm, that I like to get all angles, right? And so I've been watching a lot of podcasts. I won't say which ones. And they've been saying, like, people saying stuff like, they're no longer calling the ROG Xbox Ally X an Xbox anymore. Right? So I saw some of that going on. I saw some of that discourse going on. And I'm like, okay, what are they talking about? So I went and watched some of the shows, and they're like, okay, well, some of the games aren't playable in there, and this and that, or whatever. Some people were talking about Jez Corden and this and that. Oh, he knows what he's talking about. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Everybody's arguing and this and that. I'm like, okay, Let me get a full picture. And like I said, I don't like to speak unless I have a full picture. So I'm just going to give you my, my basic overview. Next week, though, when XNC's on, I should have all the information compiled. And once I have all that information compiled, then I will say, okay, here's the information. This is what this means. And this is what is going on. So I can present it to you and then present my thoughts. But until then, I like to be a little bit more well-informed. But I hear what's going on. Don't think I don't hear what's going on. I hear what's a lot of time you don't see me post on Twitter a whole lot about topical things, whatever. It's not because I don't know. I do know. I know everything that's going on. And even sometimes when we do an X&C, when Colt say, hey, he'll bring up a topic and it'll be like, okay, next topic is going to be this, that, and the other. He goes, Mag, did you hear about it? I'm like, of course I heard about it. Of course I hear about it. I just don't say anything about it. Right? So that's what I end up doing at the end of the day. I just want to compile it all in, take it all in, and just get the information. And then we can talk about it next week. We'll probably talk about an X&C before I do this show again. Because next week, it'll be Monday, I'll do XNC, and then probably do MAGGcast on the Tuesday. Well, not probably. I will do the MAGGcast on the Tuesday. The only reason why I did tonight is because Colt is away, and I'm like, I'll fill the spot. I mean, I'm here anyway. I mean, I usually have the time blocked off anyway for XNC, so here we are. Thank you, Bloodshot. I appreciate that. I really, listen, man, and I'm not going to blow smoke up anybody's ass. I never will. I never will do that. But I'll tell you this is a mantra that I started when I started this channel. It's one that I heard from Robert Meyer Burnett, who's a Hollywood pundit and YouTuber, podcaster. Super wicked smart guy. And he said something that I always hold true to my heart. And the very first day I started this channel, till the last day that I do this channel, I will never change who I am, what I am, and my thoughts and my feelings. I may evolve over time because as human beings, we evolve. I get all that. But I'm not going to change who I am. And he said something that very interesting, and I said it before, and I bet you some of you guys in the chat probably even know what I'm about to say. Authenticity is the currency of the future. Authenticity is the currency of the future. If you can't be true to yourself, if you can't be true to your community, if you can't be true to your friends or your family, your fans, your followers, your subscribers, your family of maggots, if you can't be authentic with those people and yourself, who the fuck are you going to be authentic to? You're just lying to yourself. You're living a lie. And people will see through that. And when people see through that, you won't last long. Not just in the YouTube streets, not in the Twitter streets. I'm talking about in life. So Bloodshot, to say, thank you for what you said. I absolutely will always be authentic. So my thoughts and my feelings are always my thoughts and my feelings. And I'll try not to hurt people in the process because sometimes I say things that piss people off. That's just the way it is. It's just the way it's going to be, and that's totally fine. Because there's a lot of things people out there say in the world all the time, and they say they piss me off. Right? It is what it's going to be. So when I compile some more information about this ROG Xbox Ally X and what it can play, what it can't play, now it's an this day it's an Xbox, tomorrow it's not an Xbox, tonight it's not an Xbox, tomorrow it's going to be an Xbox again. I don't know what it is. You know what? At the end of the day, honestly, I really don't give a shit what it is because I'm not buying it, and I'm not buying it for negative reasons. I've said that before. I have no need for it. When I work, I go to work. I work very close to home, which means I do not have to travel far, and I'm driving my car, for Christ's sake. I can't game there. I can't game at work. So the only time that I have any time to game is right here in this studio, in this arcade. This is the only place that I game, okay? You guys obviously can't see it, but on the other side of this camera, I've got my monitor, I've got Series S, Series X, I got on the other side, I got a PS5 Pro, I got a Switch 2, okay? And of course, on the bottom, underneath, I got a 3060 PC, which I just got. But I don't use that for gaming, I just use that for podcasting, because I will try not to be... Thank you, Guerrilla Tactics. Thank you for coming by, man. We really appreciate you coming by, buddy. Thank you for spending time with me. Nicky Zed said the same thing. He goes, Xbox will die again tomorrow. Ain't that the fucking truth, right?
Yeah!
Yeah, you know what I mean? I don't get involved in any of that shit because it's like at some point it's going to get embarrassing. You know what I mean? Xbox may not be the best. They're not. But they're not going to die. Anyways, as for this ROG thing, I was never going to buy it anyway. $1,500 for a Canadian, for like the good one. I'm not fucking paying that. And then for what? The only time I get the game is when I'm right here. And the equipment is right in front of me. Why would I spend another $2,000? You know what I'd rather do that money? I'd rather save that money and put it back in this channel, which is exactly what I've been doing. Every donation, every member, every gifted member, everything that's gone on there has gone back into this channel. You guys can see it. Yeah, Tim Richards, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Everything that I do, I put back in this channel. I bought that PC. That 3060 wasn't cheap. It wasn't expensive. It wasn't a 5090, but it wasn't cheap. I did that with all the donations that came to this channel. All the new programs, the new music, the overlays, all that shit that's going on, the microphones, the new microphones, new headphones, new Audio-Technica headphones, new monitor, audio interface, all that kind of shit. It all goes back into the channel, right? So I do all that kind of stuff. So instead of spending $1,500 on a ROG Xbox Ally X that I'm never going to play because my Xboxes are in front of me, and listen, man, Godspeed. If you want to buy it, buy 2 of them, buy 3 of them. Whatever makes you happy, do it, as long as you're not hurting anybody, right? So you know what? Buying a ROG Xbox Ally X ain't going to hurt nobody, except for your wallet. But go ahead and buy them. And then I want you to tell me how good it is. I want you to come to this chat. Come to this chat. And tell me about it. DM me. Send me a DM and say, yo, Mag, this thing is fucking good, man. I love it. It's really awesome. I got my hands on one about a week ago. I mean, I didn't get to really play it. Like, it was on, and I got to hold it for a few seconds, and then I had to give it back because it's not for public. So I got to look at it. The fucking thing is heavy. But anyways, that's besides the point. Anyway, I wasn't going to buy the thing anyway. So I don't give a shit if they call it an Xbox today or they don't call it an Xbox tomorrow or plays this game or doesn't play this game. It's not for me. So I will report on it when I find out exactly. I saw somebody in the chat, if someone can corroborate this, someone said that if you buy a Battlefield 6 on Xbox, it's not playable on the ROG. So I'm like, okay. I'm like, I don't understand. And that's another thing. I don't want to speak on something I don't understand because I don't want to make myself look like a jackass. And not only that, I don't want to disrespect you guys. I don't want to disrespect the audience and pretend I know what I'm talking about if I don't know what I'm talking about. I will literally tell you I don't know what I'm talking about. And in that specific case and some other games, I don't know what I'm talking about. So I will not report falsities to you. I will not pretend I'm something that I'm not to try and give you guys information that I don't know about. So I will have to read into it and find out what's going on. Magnum. Danny Passion drops another $2 super chat. Thank you very much, man. He goes, I'm not buying the Xbox Ally, but the Legion Go 2. Hey, congratulations, buddy. Whatever makes you happy and whatever makes you happy gaming, that's all that matters. And look who's here.
Welcome to hell.
That's right. Ion Storm is in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. Ion Storm is in the chat. I got to make you a moderator one of these days, Ion Storm. I mean, Jesus Christ, you're here more than anybody, but the man seems to show up in the middle of the night. He's in the UK, so it's 2:34 a.m. for him right now. And but you know what? He showed up to the chat now, so maybe I'm going to have to boot him out.
You're fired!
Okay, Neo, you know what? Just for you, dude. Just for you. I will turn on all those arcade machines next time I'm on. How about that? But I'm going to have to turn the volume down. I'm going to have to turn the volume down. By the way, new emojis are coming in the chat for channel members starting next week. Not this week. I couldn't get it this week, but I'll get to it next week. I had too much shit going on in here because now I got overlays and stuff like that. It took me like 2 days. Everybody's like, you go to the internet, you go to YouTube, and they're like, well, you just watch this little video here. It's like 1minute 8 seconds on how to do overlays. I'm like, fuck you. It takes 1 minute 8 seconds. It took me like 14 hours to implement everything properly. Mostly because I'm a fraud and I don't know what I'm doing with the PC, but I'm learning. I'm getting really good at it. Slowly. You know what? Fine. You guys all been very good. I'll be back in 2 minutes. I'll turn on the arcade machines for you, okay? Give me 2 minutes. Don't leave. Just watch this fancy little neon cafe for a little bit. I'll be right back.
Welcome to hell.
There you go. There you go. I'm back. The machines are on. Problem is, it's hard to see because of the glare, right? Because I've got studio lights here. The studio lights are shining over that way. And because they're shining over that way, you're not going to be able to see all the stuff going on. You could probably make out some of it. Like Dragon's Layer's going wild over there right now. Oh, what's that? Mag's got the top score in Mortal Kombat 3? 10 wins in a row? Oh, that seems like a likely scenario. I got Mortal Kombat 3 loaded up on this one. So see a free play now. Maybe you can watch something going on in the background. But I assure you, they all work, as you can see. And these are the ones you can see on camera. There's more. There's Big Buck Hunter going on back there, too. The only way that you actually be able to see all of that stuff going on right now properly is if I turn on off all the lights, and then you'll just get the glow of the arcade. That'd be pretty cool. There you go. You wanted it, you got it. But anyways. All right, folks, I think we exhausted everything that we wanted. Doesn't matter, Mag's back. Thank you. I think we exhausted all the topics, unless there's anything else you guys wanted to get to, but I think I covered everything that's gone on this week. And this week has been a harrowing week, man. And I don't mean this week specifically because it's only Monday. But I mean, like, all the fucking, the last 5-6 days has just been insanely exhausting across the world. But if there's anything, yeah, Devil Dog, yeah, you're right. I have the little dispenser, remember that? The dispenser, the guy go, think, 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 and all, like, the quarters would come flying out of it. I remember that shit, I love that. Who's fighting there? Oh, it's Cabal versus Kano. Oh. Like I said, maybe, you know what I might try? I might try turning off all the lights. I won't do it now because we're live on the air. I'll try it when I'm off the line, and I want to see what it looks like with all the games on, and then the lights off. You guys can probably see everything playing properly. But as it stands, like I said, I got my studio lights here. The studio lights are shining that way, causing a reflection on the screens, right? So that's kind of why you're not getting the full effect. But I might just do that at the very end. You know what? Like right before I sign off, I'll turn off the lights and see what happens. See if it looks better. But either way. That was a great show tonight, everybody. Magnum, stop it.
You're fired!
That's right. What?
Get in there and fight, maggot!
Guys, what a wild show tonight, man. We broke a record, by the way. We had consistently over 100 viewers for the entire night. Absolutely incredible. Thank you guys so much. You guys have no idea what it means to me. It means the world to me. And like I'm just every week I'm more and more blown away by how many more people are checking out the show and everything else. And I'm just so happy. And if this continues to be like a popular thing, doing the live thing as opposed to doing like the videos because of the algorithm died on impact. They were doing well for a while, 4,000, 5,000 views, this and that, and then they just died on impact. I might just start doing more live stuff and just talking with the people, man. I think talking with the people, it just seems to be the better option anyway.
The Mag Show is the greatest of all time.
I know, Mario. I know. I try.
The Mag Show is the greatest of all time.
Okay, calm down, Kratos. You don't have to you don't have to tickle my balls that much. Anyways, I'm thinking that's what we got to do. Maybe I might do some more live stuff. I'm not sure. I mean, of course, we're going to continue to do the streaming. We're going to do the streaming. I'm going to do the live, and then I think maybe I'm going to add more live stuff and then bring some have some guests on here once in a while. Have some cool little debates. You know, I don't like the circle jerk stuff, right? Where everybody's just going like everybody's just agreeing with each other. It's not. You know what I mean? Just call out Alex. Alex was in our chat actually last Monday, funny enough. Colt and I, no, it wasn't Monday. What the fuck am I talking about? We did the makeup show on Thursday. And so we did the makeup show on Thursday and Banana Boy showed up, right? So I'm like, oh, wow, I got to say something now. So it was kind of funny. Yeah, this might be the only time it feels good to be a maggot, Tunk Monkey. Thank you. Thank you, 80 Storm. I appreciate that. But anyways, guys, we had a difficult conversation tonight. We had some wild stuff to talk about. But I'm glad we talked about it. And you know what? Chat, incredibly respectful. And like I said, I don't care what side of the fence you sit on. I will respect you as long as you remain respectful. That's all that matters to me. And I will respect everybody's opinion, whether it's politics, movies, televisions, comic books, and in this case, video games. Let's keep it that way. And you can call me a fraud. I understand. I'll say, you know what? I agree to disagree, but I respect your opinion. There's a lot of people out there who don't like me, and that's fine. That's fair. It's fair. You don't have to. I'm not begging for people's love. I love it. And I want this to grow. I want this to be 1 million subs one day. And listen, man, people are like, oh, Meg, you get too old for that shit. You know what? The older I get, so do the people listening. What are they going to do? Listen to a 19-year-old screech about fucking Fortnite 2? Or you want to talk to someone your own age? There's always going to be an audience out there. There's always going to be people out there. And there's always going to be a community for us. As long as we keep gaming and keep it well. Now, before I sign off, I'm going to turn off these lights and see what this, see if this looks better. And then we'll sign off for the night. Hang on. A little bit. You can see the Pac-Man screen now. Look. You're still going to get the... Listen, man. You're still going to get the glare no matter what. Because even with all the lights off now, like, I don't even have a single studio light on. Yeah, you can still see my stupid face. But, you could still see the glow of the machines, but it's still... You're going to get that glare because the camera and all that bullshit. You know how it goes. Chip GM, where the fuck have you been, man?
You're fired!
That's right, you're fired. What the hell, man? Meet the Cheater, that's a great name. I love it. Well, everybody, it's a fantastic show. Like I said, thank you for being respectful. Thank you for being great. We'll see you guys all in the next MAGGcast. However, we'll see you guys before that. What am I talking about? If you're around tomorrow night, I'm going to be finishing up Chronos. So if anybody's in the... Who called me milk bag boy? Who was that? I saw that in the chat. Milk drinkers. My God. Anyways, I will be on tomorrow night. We're going to be playing Chronos, okay? So I'm going to be playing Chronos tomorrow night. We'll deal with all that. Meet the cheater. I'll make you a mod. If you want. He wants a blue wrench. He wants a blue wrench. By the way, Lady Gamer was nowhere to be found. Where was she tonight? She's gonna show up at like right when I sign off. She's gonna be like, "Oh my God, I just got here." Yeah, it's okay. I can make you a mod, dude. You asked nicely. We could do that. So, anyways, I'll be on tomorrow night playing Chronos. I'm gonna finish Chronos tomorrow night because, like I said, I'm like literally on the last levels. I'm like the hospital / finale, whatever the hell you want to call it. So I'm right there. So once I finish all that, we will do that, and then Wednesday we will move into Borderlands, and then I'm opening it up, Xbox, PlayStation, PC. I'm going to be online Wednesday. You guys hit me up. My wife might be playing with me or my son. But there's always room for more. So get your asses in the game. If you got Borderlands and you want to play, come join me, okay? But anyways, everybody, thank you guys so much. Thank you guys for being so respectful and so supportive. We'll see you guys all tomorrow. Stay magnificent. Have a great night, everyone.